24-hour cameras, wildlife sitcom and drama, emotional cliffhangers. Reality TV at its best. The difference? The actors, African wildlife. The set, the African bush. The scriptwriter and producer, Mother Nature.
Last time on Wildlife Diary, Lisa sounded her discomfort. Flippy displayed his dominance over the bachelor herd in Madala's absence. The male hyenas left the boma, but Tia didn't accept them into the clan. And the wild dog pack made a fortunate find. The researchers report that Flippy continues lording it over the bachelor herd while Madala is in must. Without anyone to keep the young elephant in check, his ego grows by leaps and bounds. He seizes every possible opportunity to assert himself over Fumbe and Mr. M. But these dominant habits are bound to get him into trouble once Madala calms down and returns to the herd. Melissa's cubs are approaching the 6-month mark without too much difficulty. This is nothing short of a miracle given the poor track record of the Korongwe's cheetahs in raising litters. The cubs need to stay with their mother until at least a year old. Over the next 3 months, they'll start participating in kills. Tia's playing hard to get, demanding that the males work at gaining entry into the clan. And this doesn't stop Giggles from sneaking off every now and then to visit the boys. Being the dominant female, Tia's likes and dislikes reign supreme. If the males want in, they must go through months of rigorously hanging around the fringes and sucking up to the girls. This time on Wildlife Diary, the wild dogs go house hunting. Cobra and Shungu get wind of a woman in need of wining and dining. We drop in on Yanina and family to check how they're doing. And Zero gets tough with the teenagers. Over the last few weeks, the Chippenberry nights filled with the sounds of Lisa's frustration. Everyone tried to help, but the inconsolable pregnant female just couldn't get comfortable. Even Maggie offered sisterly advice. Eventually, Zero stepped in and managed to calm Lisa down. Today, Cobra and Shungu have made a kill in the Chippenberry. As always, they're nervous about holding on to it. Shungu keeps watch, while Cobra fills up with flesh. Luma's arrival puts them off their food. At least they both had an opportunity to feed. Luma's beady stare soon dashes any hope of finishing the meal in peace. Luma's short life has already taught him an important lesson. Lions rule, no exceptions. He settles in for a languid afternoon of feeding and sleeping. The cheetah kill is just what the doctor ordered. As night falls, the well-fed sub-adults lope off to rejoin the pride. They proceed slowly, watching their step. With every day that goes by, their presence seems to irritate Zero more and more. The tense situation among the lions is simply not going away. Limo diplomatically halts on the outskirts of the pride and settles in for the night. No point in taking chances in the darkness. The next morning does not get off to a good start. The brothers can hear Zero in the vicinity. They were hoping to spend some time with their mother, but the male watches them like a hawk. Limo and Luma are in a twilight zone, not quite old enough to sever their bond with Lisa and move away from the pride, but certainly old enough to give Zero the needle with their budding maleness. Maggie and her cubs sit tight. They recognize that Zero's behavior poses little threat to them. As long as they stay away from Luma and Limu, they'll be quite safe. Limu doesn't know where to turn. Zero could rush him at any moment. Likewise for Luma. He watches carefully, looking for the telltale signs that might predict a rampage. The sub-adult's dilemma takes its toll on contentment within the pride. Only Max and Moby seem to be able to relax and enjoy the show, but the cubs shouldn't get too comfortable. Sooner or later, they'll find themselves in the same predicament. Lisa's well-aimed nip at Zero's hind legs saves the day. Her intervention distracts him long enough for Luma to escape the assault. Maggie and her cubs remain in place despite the excitement. Zero's surge of dominance proves that he has finally accepted the crown once and for all. As far as he's concerned, Felix won't be coming back, so he might just as well get on with his life and do the job of running this outfit. He's young, he's strong, nothing can stand in his way. After years of playing second fiddle to Brother Felix, the new dispensation suits him just fine. Zero might be feeling on top of the world at the moment, but the shadow of crucial social and political issues looms large over the pride. Maggie's two cubs will enter puberty within the next 2 years. The manes of the sub-adults Luma and Limu grow longer by the hour. Zero's position is not as unassailable as you might think. Without Felix's support, any of the up-and-coming males could well turn the tables on him. Assuming he deals successfully with Luma and Limu, sooner or later he'll have to confront Max and Moby. For now, the sub-adults keep a low profile. But is it possible that Luma and Limu might gang up on Zero? Acting as a team, might they be strong enough to kill him and take over the pride? Coming up, we check in on Yanina's family, and the wild dogs seek alternative accommodation. The Monarti's resident male Rolani has not been sleeping easily. A competitor has entered the Adini section. Young Mahushle has shown himself to be a formidable specimen. His strength and youth could easily turn the tables on Rolani. Fortunately, Mahushle has been keeping very much to himself. For Rolani's sake, the researchers are hoping it stays that way. This morning, all eyes turn to Yanina's cubs. Janina's low-profile approach to raising a family has worked well. She's brought them very close to the crucial 18-month milestone, beyond which they could survive independently of her. Leopard mothers and cubs usually remain together as a family for about 2 years, but then the mother comes into estrus and mates. Within the next year, Janina will probably fall pregnant and give birth again, by which time these two cubs will have moved off and established their own territories. Leopards are solitary by nature and defend territories against individuals of the same sex. But even though Janina's cubs are soon to leave her, the bonds between them will last into adulthood. Should they subsequently bump into each other, the meetings will be friendly and affectionate. The secret of Janina's success has many components. When the cubs were born, she kept them well concealed. Every 3 days or so, she shifted den location to confuse potential enemies. Lions and spotted hyenas will decimate an entire leopard litter if they stumble across it while the mother's away hunting. Very early on, Janina started teaching her cubs the basic tools of survival. Within 5 months, the youngsters were bringing down their own small kills. She taught them quickly. She taught them effectively. Now, well over a year old, the cubs regularly put food on the table. Despite her best efforts, one problem remains beyond Janina's control. The future of the male cub hangs in the balance. The female cub will adjust to life as a solitary predator without difficulty. But the boy has a number of dangerous hurdles to negotiate. His father, Alani, will soon wake up to the fact that he has a new competitor. Then there is Mahushli of the Edini section to contend with. This leopard started off as a trespasser on the Korongwe, but is fast establishing himself as a force to be reckoned with. Janina has much to worry about. Rulani has killed his own male offspring before. Losing the young male in a territorial dispute with his father would negate all her hard work. How long will the cubs remain with their mother? Will the male cub ever be ready to survive the harsh reality of competition? The Mafanyani section recently presented the wild dogs with a bonus, an entire eland, already dead and ripe for the feasting. On their own, the 3 adults could never have made such a spectacular kill. But why look a gift eland in the mouth? The pups certainly didn't mind where the meat came from. Today, a new purpose energizes the pack. Biggles sets the pace. Everyone's on the move. The grubby flea pit in which the cubs came into the world has finally become intolerable. The pack needs a new den, not least because the strong smell is attracting dangerous attention. Alf brings up the rear, making sure the stragglers don't get left behind. The pups dawdle in an exposed location, much to the concern of the adults. An irresistible monkey-tail plant distracts the gang from the important business of finding a new home. Duchess slaps the crew back into line. Their mother is not in the mood to accept any fooling around today. Biggles scans the terrain for possible den sites. The pack seeks a disused aardvark burrow. Again, the pups get sidetracked. This time, a group of termite mounds provides the playground. Duchess and Biggles entice the little ones back to the task at hand. The pups follow obediently. The search continues. The parents carefully survey the surrounding bush for burrow openings. Alf is the first to spot a gem of a den site. Duchess inspects the location. The lady approves, and excavation begins in earnest. The trek has exhausted the pups. They settle in for a much-needed nap while the adults make alterations to the new den. It takes a couple of hours to clear the main entrance and enlarge the living space down below. The pups stir with growing curiosity about the new dwelling. Duchess takes a break, while Alf works on a neighboring entry passage. A wild dog den can boast up to 4 active entrances and another 4 blind openings to mislead predators. Alf industriously does his share, but when it comes to back-breaking work, Biggles is nowhere to be found. It's just about time to introduce the pups to the den. With the bulk of the alterations now over, Biggles puts in an appearance. It's been a long day, everyone's hungry, time to hunt. While the pups make themselves at home, Duchess and the boys start tracking a meal. With ears down in the typical stalking posture, the team targets a warthog snuffling its way through the scrub. Blaze spots dinner and alerts the whole menagerie. Duchess is first to do the honors. But Alf soon arrives bearing a tasty tidbit. He's ripped off the warthog's head. Duchess pesters Biggles for a scrap, but he refuses to hand it over. The piranhas tear into Alf's warthog head. A few short minutes later, the fat, happy throng settles down to sleep off the meal and recuperate after an exhausting day. How safe is the new den? Will the shift in location contribute to the survival of the pups? Coming up, Cobra and Shungu come across a tantalizing scent. The Tupinbury section witnessed yet another cheetah tragedy in recent weeks. Competing predators wiped out all of Menandi's cubs in a single raid. The female has yet to raise a litter successfully. After the lions dislodged Cobra and Shungu from their kill, the two cheetahs separated for reasons unknown. Cobra's search for Shungu soon pays off. The call and response technique leads him unerringly to his brother's side. The two males depend on unity for survival. Their emotional bond remains invincible. Barring a tragedy, they will always be together.
Now the two boys are together finally. We do not know what caused the separation. It's a mystery to us at the moment. They're probably going to rest up for the rest of the day. It's getting extremely hot. And I think they're both pretty tired, as am I. Walking through these blocks at this time of the day, it's quite hot.
The exertion of the kill and being chased off by lions have left Cobra and Shungu in need of a rest. As the harsh winter draws to a close, the cheetahs increasingly need to conserve their resources. But something soon cuts short the leisure time. Shungu gets up to investigate. Whatever caught his attention seems not to pose a threat. His approach is relaxed, more one of curiosity and interest than anything else. The cheetah searches intently. What could it be? Shungu follows the scent trail, sampling every leaf in his path. Solitary male cheetahs and male coalitions mark their territories by spraying urine. But Shungu's body language gives no indication that he's tracking a competing male. Cobra joins him. The object of their quest soon makes herself known. Shungu is the first to respond. He heads in the direction of the calls. And discovers that Menandi is the source. She's come into estrus. Cobra holds back. He senses she's not ready to mate yet. But Shungu's enthusiasm carries him into the fray. He soon backs off. Even though the alluring scent of her urine has drawn the
24-hour cameras, wildlife sitcom and drama, emotional cliffhangers, reality TV at its best. The difference? The actors, African wildlife. The set, the African bush. The scriptwriter and producer, Mother Nature.
Last time on Wildlife Diary, Lisa sounded her discomfort. Flippy displayed his dominance over the bachelor herd in Madala's absence. The male hyenas left the boma, but Tia didn't accept them into the clan. And the wild dog pack made a fortunate find. Being the dominant female, Tia's likes and dislikes reign supreme. If the males want in, they must go through months of rigorously hanging around the fringes and sucking up to the girls. This time on Wildlife Diary, the wild dogs go house hunting. Cobra and Shungu get wind of a woman in need of wining and dining. We drop in on Yanina and family to check how they're doing. And Zero gets tough with the teenagers. Over the last few weeks, the Chippenberry nights filled with the sounds of Lisa's frustration. Everyone tried to help, but the inconsolable pregnant female just couldn't get comfortable. Even Maggie offered sisterly advice. Eventually, Zero stepped in and managed to calm Lisa down. Today, Cobra and Shungu have made a kill in the Chippenberry. As always, they're nervous about holding on to it. The researchers report that Flippy continues lording it over the bachelor herd while Madala is in must. Without anyone to keep the young elephant in check, his ego grows by leaps and bounds. He seizes every possible opportunity to assert himself over Fumbe and Mr. M. But these dominant habits are bound to get him into trouble once Madala calms down and returns to the herd. Melissa's cubs are approaching the 6-month mark without too much difficulty. This is nothing short of a miracle given the poor track record of the Karongwe's cheetahs in raising litters. The cubs need to stay with their mother until at least a year old. Over the next 3 months, they'll start participating in kills. Tia's playing hard to get, demanding that the males work at gaining entry into the clan. And this doesn't stop Giggles from sneaking off every now and then to visit the boys.